Caleb, I know a lot of the success this season is built on that defensive, solid foundation. Keep a clean sheet in Austin. What did you see from the group in terms of sort of getting back to that defensive mentality?
Yeah, another good defensive performance, which isn't easy, ever on the road in this league against a team that's been in good form, taking results in 8 out of 10 and good environment. Really pleased with that part. I think eight clean sheets, 2 away from tying the club record, if you can believe that. Just again in the box, we got to do better. We had like 13, 14 crosses and 0 completed. So the players in those positions, we showed the film today. They got to get the cross right. The runs were there actually, and for me, so that that's the only thing we got to keep working on and keep looking at. Obviously, we'll see where Peyton and Eli are at. Got a little run with them today, so we'll make a decision on whether or not they're a part of the game.
Yeah, I think it's been, 9 guys who started the first 3 games. You got 2 more coming up in the next 4 days. How do you kind of just continue to analyze, where guys are with 2 more games in the next 4?
Yeah, we know the guys that can keep going, and we know the guys that we need to rotate. It's typically the guys that have done it and not gotten injured. And then there are some guys you got to be careful with. So we'll keep making those good decisions, but the execution has been there, on both sides of the ball. Really pleased with that, and yet the final third is still for me the piece, the quality in that moment. That's what we got to continue to look at and get right.
You mentioned the 8 clean sheets. It's been Aliaj in goal for all 8. What does he provide this group in terms of leadership when it's on the field and off the field in the locker room?
Yeah, clean sheets are a team thing. In last game, Ali made some big saves. But it's the goalkeeper, it's the central defenders. They're the last line, of course, making the final play. But the better we defend from the front, then the fewer moments that we're in defending. And I think for the most part, we're not giving away a ton of chances. Last game, a few more that he had to step up when called upon. But he's a great leader. Our center backs have been excellent. I'm sure obviously Mamadou's out suspended, so we'll have to make a decision there, with who slides in. But, really pleased overall with the defending and even the attacking. It's just the finish we got to get right.
So switching to that 3-5-2, you've had 8 different strike partnerships to start. Can you talk about having to build that consistency? And then especially Luca Langoni, he's been really good since coming back and performing there.
Yeah, not ideal to have to change so much. It's not been by design. It's been because of injuries. Luca's recently done extremely well. Thought he played another good game. He was lively. He was in behind him. He had 2 really good chances. The first one was saved. Excellent save. He took it well. He put it right where he should have put it. The goalie made a fingertip save, unbelievable save. And then the second key chance he had, can probably do a bit better, go low back post. But he's playing really well, like his rhythm, like his confidence. But ideally, you don't have to change the front two that much, because you want an understanding, develop. I've said it, our best run of form was when we had continuity in every game, and it's always going to be a better formula just because the understanding and the chemistry is better.
Carlos Hill was named an MLS All-Star today. Feel like something that should have been done earlier to you?
Made sense, and he told me actually before the game that he was going to put him on, so well deserved. It doesn't matter how it happens. Life has a funny way of working out and evening out in the end, and he got the deserved, call to make the All-Star game because he's had an unbelievable year, and he'll continue to, be our key player.
Feels like his leadership has grown over the last year and a half. You talked about after the Miami game that he stood up and said we're in every single game and kind of had that moment. He's always been a leader on the field, but feels like maybe the last year and a half he's had to step up a little bit more as a leader.
Yeah, he likes the team. He likes the direction of the club. He likes, the way we play. So that makes it easier. He's positive about everything. I think sometimes players like Carlos, because they're so good, it's hard for them to understand sometimes when, we don't get the cross right or we don't get the run right. These are things that are obvious to a player like him. But I think he's gotten more patient, which is a big part of leadership, is finding that balance between accountability and, making sure you build confidence and stay positive, that positivity. And I think that's the biggest thing I've seen in him. But again, it goes back to when a player likes the direction and likes most of what's happening, minus maybe at times the results, then it's a little bit easier to stay positive.
You mentioned some injuries. It looks like Feingold and Payton might be in the mix at some point this week. And Ganago, he had his sixth game. He could be reactivated, but we never got any update on him. What's going on with Ganago and those other players?
Yeah, Ganago's still a couple weeks away, 2-3 weeks away. Even though, yeah, it's the sixth game, but we're not going to do another 6 games, right? So he's in the mix when he's ready. And then Peyton and Eli, they trained today, but it was the first day of training. So, we're going to have to make decisions now on whether or not they're available this game or next game. So it'll be a judgment call. Peyton's been out 1 game, 4 days. Eli's been out, I think, 13, 14 days. So Eli's missed 3 games, Peyton 1 game. And they both look pretty good. But, playing 90 minutes and playing at a high intensity, both sides of the ball, and tackling and putting your foot in, and just the game speed is different than training. So we have to make a decision on that.
And the last one for me, you mentioned Fofana being suspended. How does that change things? Because he's been a rock back there this year.
Yeah, he's been a key guy in the center. But we've played different guys, and in the end, we have to play a different guy, and we have confidence in the player that we'll pick.
Carlos, obviously the big news this morning, you being added to the 2025 MLS All-Star roster. Just what was your reaction when you were told that you'd been added to that group?
Good, it's always a pleasure to be there with the group of players, and yeah, try to enjoy the experience.
One of only 4 players in Revs history who's been part of 4 MLS All-Star teams. I know you're not about individual accolades and talking about yourself, but in this moment, how cool is it that you're part of sort of elite company within this club to get an honor like this?
Yeah, it's always difficult, and even in my position, there's many good players there, but yeah, I think it means that I'm doing good things. For me, it's always the important is the group. Try to win is the best way to then improve as an individual player. So and try to be the best Carles, not for me, but for the group, for my team, and trying to do this.
You've had these All-Star experiences before. What's sort of your favorite part of going and getting these experiences for a few days with the team?
No, in the 99% of the day it's a rivalry, so with these players, and you spend 2, 3, 4 days with them. It's always different, and it's nice, and yeah, it's a different experience.
And then just looking at the team, Caleb talked about liking a lot of the performances over the last 3 games. Obviously the results haven't necessarily been there, but how do you kind of analyze these last 3 games in terms of the performances and what needs to happen to sort of get over that hump?
Yeah, so it's difficult because, like Alex said, we are doing good things for me, and more with the ball, because the key is create chances in the end. Then the finishing is apart, but the difficult on the pitch is create the chances we are creating, big chances, and I think the goal are coming for sure. I think we need to improve without the ball, but even last game we had a clean sheet because Ali had an amazing performance, but we're still, having some space on the back, on the midfielder. So try to be better in that part and continue like this. We are there in almost every game, but the truth is that we need a win. There are two key games for us coming in this week, so try to first win in Red Bull and then against Orlando.
And Carlos, you bring up Ollie's performance last game. How much confidence do you have in having him back there in the back line to support you guys?
No, Ali is always there, He's an incredible keeper, and I know him. He's working every week, every day, no matter what happens. If it's the best keeper in the week or he conceded 3. So in the end, he's consistent every week, and we have lucky to have him, and yeah, I'm very happy for the season he's having.
And tomorrow will be your 4th game in less than 2 weeks. How do you just stay sharp heading to face Red Bulls tomorrow?
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult 2 weeks, but like I say, it's a key game. So the 11 starting and the other guys coming from the bench need to be ready. Red Bull, we know what they are. It's a team that they like to fight 1v1s, running over the pitch. So it will be difficult, but we beat them at home some months ago, and we want to do the same.
You mentioned this before. New England's become your home. The Revolution have become your home. What does it mean to represent this club down in Austin?
No, I'm very proud to do that. I love this team. I love Boston. I love everything. So yeah, I'm going to try to do my best in these days and represent my team.
And related to that, there was a special moment before the Miami game. It looks like you brought your son out to the field. Why did you do that, and what does it mean to you to have your son there in that moment?
Yeah, I think first time was 2 years ago. He was a baby, now he's a little bit bigger, and obviously to have the opportunity to do it with Messi is special too. Was a strange because he was crying. He was to be with his mom, so it was. But yeah, it's an amazing experience, and we will remember for sure.
And for you, you're the captain of this team. The year and a half hasn't probably gone the way you want it to go. What have you learned about being a good leader during this last year and a half?
To, like you say, we had many bad moments, and in that moments, to be there, to try to make a step, not just me, but the experienced guys here, like Matt, Brandon, Andrew, is in the difficult moment is where you need to push, to encourage the team, and yeah, I think this season is different. Even we are not on the position we want, but the feeling is different. We are competing every game, and we feel we are there. We obviously we need to improve and like I said, start to winning games, but I think can be a good season.
Yeah, and then the last comment from me. Coach mentioned after the Miami game that you stood up and you said, we're right there. We're competing with the best teams. How close do you feel like this team is, and what do you need to do to get over that and get more wins?
Yeah, it's strange because in the moment, when I'm on the pitch or the moments before the game, I'm always having good feelings, like today's the day we are going to win. Even on the pitch, I'm feeling good, having chances, it's coming, but the truth is that I think in the last 11, 12, we just had a win, So, yeah, I think it's true we are doing good games, but in the end, we need to improve. We need to improve on the boxes, finishing. We cannot concede every game, not the last, but the others 2, 3, because then it's difficult to have a win, So improve these things, and it's 13 more games. We want to be in the playoff, and then I'm sure that in the playoff we are ready for face any team. So, yeah. Sí, muy contento. Al final, pues cada año es más complicado porque hay más talento en la liga y bueno, pues siempre es una experiencia bonita estar en el All-Star, compartir momentos con gente que normalmente es tu rival y bueno, espero disfrutar esos días allí.